All right. I think someone needed a sync check with ESPN. Is that correct? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tip off! Do you need me to put Freddie's headset on and do the same thing? Okay. Hey, can you still hear me? Is it because your mic is open to me that it sounds like I'm an alien now? Okay, thanks. I'll be right back.
trying, you know, trying to make
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. How about
I got
now?
you now.
Now I got Freddie.
Okay. Yep. Got it.
From the Pitt Center in Fairfield, Connecticut, the playoff chase heats up as we begin February. They're all big in the MAC, and it's another big one today between two teams in the thick of it. The Manhattan Jaspers and the Sacred Heart Pioneers. From Coach Dave Bitecourt, Manhattan and Sacred Heart play for only the second time in these two programs' histories. Both teams coming off consecutive wins, looking to make it 3 in a row in their push for Atlantic City. With Freddie Coleman, Randy Brochu, thrilled to be with you today. And these head-to-head matchups for two teams in the middle of that chase to be one of the top 10 out of the 13 that qualify for the MAC tournament and go on to Atlantic City in March. It's a big one today to move ahead of one another between the Jaspers and the Pioneers. And I hope you like offense,
yes,
because this features the two top offenses in the MAC.
Yeah, not just the two top offenses, but the two most efficient offenses, because you have Sacred Heart, they're number 2 in offensive efficiency, and Manhattan is number 1. So if you love defense, go watch Hoosiers. If you want offense, you got all you're going to have today involving Sacred Heart taking on the Jaspers of Manhattan.
And certainly plenty of offense from Manhattan coming into today, 5-5 in the MAC, 10-9 overall. They are deep at the guard position, but leading the way is one of the most exciting young players in this league, Will Sidnor.
Yeah, one of the best things about him, Randy, not just a freshman, a 6'8", 215 pounds, but his effectiveness as a 3-level scorer inside and outside, terrific offensive rebounder. He is a high-level player at this level, and Anthony Latina, the coach of Sacred Heart, believes he's one of the top 10 players already in the MAC as only a freshman.
The Sacred Heart Pioneers 8-12 overall, 4-5 in the MAC, coming off consecutive wins in the vaunted Western New York trip, led by their star, rookie point guard, racking up assists and awards, Makai Connor.
Yeah, he's going to need a different dorm room with all the awards he's gotten over this week, having 4 different awards, and he has a great feel for the game. We'll see exactly what kind of feel it's going to be with these two tipping off right now here at Sacred Heart.
The Pioneers win the opening tap. Sacred Heart averaging 75.8 points a game, first in the MAC, shooting it at 44%, led by Anquan Hill on the first possession of the game. He lays it in. Makai Connor runs the point. Amiri Stewart, Griffin Baruch in the backcourt with Tanner Thomas, their leading scorer.
One of the few times, Randy, we see Anquan Hill running a little screen and roll, and a great job to get into the deep of the lane, and a great find by Connor to find him.
Starting 5 for Manhattan. Will Sidnor leads him silky smooth from the free throw line. Messiah Gilliard joining him in the starting 5 with Wesley Robinson, Jaden Winston, and Shaquille Bender.
There are a lot of bucket getters you're going to see in this game. Sidnor able to just go get the basket and have a play run for him.
Tanner Thomas, leading scorer for the Pioneers, playing horse with Sidnor. He hit the same shot, fading away from the free throw line.
At this rate, I can do it better. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. 3 possessions already, and 3 shots being made by both of these teams in the early going.
Manhattan second in the conference at 75.6 points per game. A 3 from the wing falls off the rim for Sidnor.
Really good job by Tanner Thomas to close out on the shooter but not overextend.
Connor can dish it, but he's also a confident shooter. He pulls up and misses the 3.
I don't mind that shot, but I think he could have gotten a much better shot with the dribble to get inside the lane.
Winston with another pull-up. Amiri Stewart defends it. Anquan Hill the rebound. Griffin Baruch with a rock. Baruch, a 3. Back tap off the miss by Hill is taken away from Manhattan by Jaden Winston, who nearly traveled, but was able to find an open man in Shaquille Bender, who misses the 3. Amiri Stewart the box out to allow Hill to pick up the board.
You'll be able to find shots in transition if the defense is not there, if they're too tardy, and they got a wide open look in that 3-point shot by Manhattan in transition.
Tanner Thomas misses the 3 from the corner. Along the baseline, Gilliard tried to throw it off the back of Anquan Hill. It is Manhattan basketball. Let's take a look at the keys for the Jaspers, looking to make it 3 in a row after their win against Iona.
Well, it's very easy for Manhattan, 5 by 10. They have 5 players averaging at least 10 points a game as a part of their lineup, but they're a small team, so they have to make sure that they do not get outworked and dominated by the offensive rebounding prowess when it comes to Sacred Heart.
Little crossover move by Robinson, and he swishes on Tanner Thomas. Freddie, how about for the Pioneers? They got those wins against Canisius and Niagara, and they're shooting the three efficiently right now.
Well, number one, they have to take care of the basketball. They're number one in the MAC in assists, but then they have to avoid what we've seen a little bit lately, Randy. Those dips when it comes to offensive production. They had good offense the first 2 possessions, but the last 5 possessions have gone begging when it comes to the offense of Sacred Heart.
Fresh 10 on the shot clock for Winston, who picks up his dribble. Bender, up and under on Mackay Connor and Griffin Baruch. He misses, and it's out on Manhattan.
I thought Baruch was really good, Randy, coming off his man with that strong side defense, because Bender had a great Euro step to get into the teeth of the defense, but that help side defense by Baruch made that a shot that was not going to be an easy layup. So really good position defense by Baruch, who's become a dogged defender and has gotten better as this season has gone along.
Tanner Thomas takes the feed. He misses from the wing, and Sidnor is in for another rebound. Bender skies it off the glass over Anquan Hill for 2.
Well, sometimes he will settle and take ill-advised threes. I love the fact, Randy, that he didn't settle. He saw the advantage that the defense got too close to him. Great use of the dribble to get that paint touch and finish it in deep.
Tanner Thomas, he's got some space for 3. The Pioneers 0 for 4 from deep after hitting 26 3-point baskets on their trip to Niagara and Canisius last week. Robinson backs in and misses. Anquan Hill goes up for the board.
Really good defense by Tanner Thomas to take that shot away.
Baruch in rhythm misses the 3. Anquan Hill an offensive rebound. The Pioneers play fast and frenetic. Average time of possession about 16 seconds. Anquan Hill from the corner finally connects for the Pioneers from 3.
And I think when they do that, Randy, they can get the shots that they want. I know they want to go a little post-up, a little isolation, but I think if they move the basketball from side to side, either in the air or on the ground to dribble, they can get better shots in the offense against Manhattan.
Hill's a forward, 6'9", but one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Second in the conference at 48%. On the backdoor cut, Gilliard goes up for the dunk, and Amiri Stewart says you're going to have to earn it from the line.
It was a good foul, but how about that play by Gilliard? Didn't just pass the ball and stick and stay. A little jab to the left, and he gets into the lane. And how about that find to get him in deep? Good action early on between these two. It's early February, Randy, but we got Super Week, got a super start to this ball game involving these two.
We told you it was going to play fast, and it sure has on this first weekend in February. 7-6 shoe. We hit our first media timeout. Seven 6, Sacred Heart with the early lead. Anquan Hill pacing the Pioneers with 5. And free throws coming up for Messiah Swish Gilliard from Brooklyn, averaging 10.5 points a game.
Yeah, when Baruch overextended way too much, you see the quick first step by Gilliard to get into the paint and also find that pass when he got it from Wesley Robinson. And a guy like Gilliard, you mentioned his nickname is Swish. He does so many different things well. He's a Swiss Army knife that's not a Dell Swiss Army knife. If he gets close to your skin, he is going to cut you. And you can really typify what he's been able to do at 6'3", 195 pounds, Randy. And he's number 2 in the MAC in offensive rebounds at that size. So his ability to do so many different things well has been a big factor early on for the Manhattan offense.
Talk about his rebounding ability, 4th overall in the MAC at better than 7 boards a game. And a good free throw shooter, 71% from the line. He gets there a lot, 47 for 66. His ability to slash and draw fouls. He goes 1 for 2. Niall Ralph Byer is into the game. Sacred Heart has 3 of the top 4 three-point shooters in the conference. Ralph Byer amongst them. Griffin Baruch really only takes threes. He's only taken 20 shots this year that weren't a three-point attempt. Hill in the paint.
I love that. Playing through contact. Got bodied up by Wesley Robinson. Didn't worry about it. Just dipped his left shoulder into him and got a pretty little jump hook. 7 of the early 9 points of Sacred Heart at the hands of Anquan Hill.
The spin to the cup falls off for Bender. Hill was 7, Freddie, and we talk about Sacred Heart's ability to shoot the 3, but you got to have that inside presence. Ralph Byer says, nah, no you don't. I'm going to pull up for 3 and rip my first shot of the day.
You know what's so good about that? Under control, getting to a spot, getting to the defense to back up just a little bit, and he does not need a lot of space to get that look from down deep.
Ralph Byer at 43% this year from deep, 4th in the MAC. Bender fades away and hits.
He loves that little jab step where he'll jab at the defender to try to back you up a little bit. If I'm Byer or anybody guarding him, I'm not falling for that. He shoots less than 25% of the three-point line. You want to dare him to try to take those kind of ill-advised shots and not allow him to do that to punish the defense with the dribble.
Anquan Hill backing down Sidmore. Hill, the hook, no good. And Hill misses for the first time.
I like the play call. Clear out that side of the court. It worked well the first time. Why not try it again?
Driving layup for Jaden Winston off the window for 2.
He is so good pushing the defense, but also recognizing, even though it wasn't a fast break, but he had the defender on skates backing him up.
Anquan Hill misses the corner 3. Jaden Winston in for the rebound. Crossing over Baruch. He blows by him and scoops. Counted on the foul. Jaden Winston.
Dribble, young man dribble. Second time it worked on back-to-back possessions. His ability to go from point A to point B. And how about this move, Randy, where you set up the defender really well. You get that left shoulder past him. Baruch a little late with the challenge on defense because he knows he can punish with the dribble and just be able to have that strength to play through that kind of hit and get that bucket and one for Winston.
He hit a big shot earlier this year, a game-winning 3 at Ryder from deep. Here, a 3-point play from the free throw line.
Now to go to a little 2-2-1 full court press, and that's what happens when you can beat it. And that connection was almost there, just a little too high.
Connor going for the lob to Anquan Hill. Meanwhile, a couple of no-look dishes. Devin Dinkins sends it back to the corner for 3. No good, Winston. Offensive rebound and the putback good for Will Sidnor.
He did a good job, Bryce Johnson, boxing him out, but Sidnor does not stay boxed out, and now they're going to stay in a little 2-2-1 to try to speed up Sacred Heart just a little bit.
Ralph Byer for Baruch. Short on a deep 3. Sidnor pushes the floor. Dinkins in the corner. Misses the 3, and Hill gets called for the push-off.
Because Wesley Robinson did such a great job with the work to get in between him and the basket and the ball. His ability to track the basketball and get that position, putting Anquan Hill on his backside. That's why the loose ball foul got called on Anquan Hill, who was out of position.
So Hill with his first personal. That is the 3rd team foul. He'll go to the bench after a productive start, 7 points and 5 rebounds. Bryce Johnson entering for the Pioneers, their leading rebounder.
If you're Sacred Heart, you got to find a way to stop this 9-0 run. They took a 12-7 lead, and it's been all Manhattan ever since.
Amiri Stewart working through the pick. The man who set it open. A 3, no good for Wesley Robinson.
You never have to worry about picking and rolling a lot of times with Manhattan. They're a pick and pop team because they don't have a lot of size, but they have 5 guys that can make shots from the outside.
Falou Gay, their 6'6" backup point guard. Running the offense. Tanner Thomas inside, no good. Bryce Johnson tipped it off the top of the backboard, and it almost fell for him. With the rebound in the hands of Sydnor.
Yeah, they can attack the offensive glass if you're Sacred Heart. When you get those opportunities, you don't want to have those kind of offensive possessions get a little zero when you do a great job getting that position inside.
Sydnor fades away for three. The rebound to Amiri Stewart. Stewart fills up the stat sheet, 12 points a game, 4.5 rebounds a game. And a good defensive player with 16 blocks and 38 steals. He's going to take a three and miss. Falou Gay crashing, couldn't handle the rebound. Sydnor takes it away.
If you're going to crash, you better get back in defense and transition, because that will happen if you're Sacred Heart. 12-0 run by Manhattan, forcing Anthony Latina and Sacred Heart to call a timeout. If you're going to attack the offensive glass, you got to have good floor balance with the guys who are not crashing the glass. We didn't see that, and often running with Manhattan and the easy three-point square-up shot.
Devin Dinkins with the three-pointer that makes it 19-12, the Jaspers. And Anthony Latina using his first timeout. 7-point lead behind that 12-0 run for Manhattan. Well, it's only the second all-time matchup between Sacred Heart and Manhattan, but they have a lot of familiarity with their second-year head coach, John Gallagher, who did a wonderful job at Hartford. Sacred Heart and Hartford played just about every year, going back to that 16 Division I tournament featuring the teams in Connecticut. Of course, Hartford dropped from Division I. John Gallagher, who led them to an America East championship, on the sidelines now in his second year, taking on Anthony Latina. And Coach Latina and Coach Gallagher with a friendship and a lot of respect for one another.
And a lot of energy on both of the sidelines. At times you swear they are an extra offensive player defender on the court because they're so involved in the basketball game. And Anthony Latina said something very interesting to me yesterday when I talked with him. He said, in this league, you have a chance to be a top 4 seed, but their goal is to get to a top 6. But the difference between the bottom and the top of the MAC, he said, is 0, and we're seeing the evidence right now.
The runner, no good for Ralph Byer. Offensive rebound. Bryce Johnson looking to reverse it. He gets stopped. Sacred Heart cool from the floor. 5 for 20 to start the game. Offensive rebound, Robinson. Off the miss from Bender.
And now you get a chance to redirect and reset what you want to do. You got a good look from the outside, but now you got to do everything you can to punish the Sacred Heart defense.
Bender trying to find Sydnor on a backdoor cut with Tanner Thomas chasing him down, and the foul is on Sacred Heart.
And they've been able to do this, Randy, by not only getting out in transition, but when you overextend so much on the perimeter the way that Tanner Thomas did, a good backdoor cut by Sydnor, even though the foul happened. Now you have to be aware of that, because you know that Sydnor can make three-point shots, but also show the ability that he just won't stand out there and wait for the basketball.
It was announced as Gay's foul. Both he and Thomas were in there defensively. Thomas already with one personal. The inbounds comes to Marko Ljubicic from Croatia. Scored his first points last game since November the 12th. Bender spins on Gay. And his kiss off the window, too strong. Gay up to Ralph Byer for a pull-up three. And Niall Ralph Byer hits.
And take a bow, Gay. Your defense was so outstanding, not letting Bender punish you by pushing you underneath the basket, and then you get the rebound and a great push-ahead pass to find Byer wide open when he ran to the spot for the three.
Ralph Byer's second three-pointer breaks up a 12-0 Manhattan run. Johnson going for the steal. Lubicic, the Euro through the paint, and he lays it in.
Well, he is from Croatia. Last time I checked, that's in Europe, so when in Euro, do as, and that's what he did here at Fairfield, Connecticut. Too much overextension by Bryce Johnson not getting the steal, and he paid for it.
Gay driving baseline, is fouled on his baseline drive. Dinkins back into the game for Manhattan.
He's so good, Byer, the freshman, hunting that three. When he knows the rebound has been secured by his teammates, he knows exactly where to run. He goes to either side. He's not just a right side shooter or a left side shooter. Wherever he can find a spot, he's going to get a chance to get the feet set and find that stroke from three.
Had a 16-point game last time out. Well, not last time out, but it was on that trip to Niagara. Sweet move, Tanner Thomas, the spin and fadeaway for two.
Yeah, the old Dirk Nowitzki, where you give him the one-legged fadeaway, you dribbled so hard into the defense and that spin, to able to create that space and that separation and step back when Center was really good at the point of that attack.
Tanner Thomas has 4. And a block as he goes up and contests Sidnor. Gay lost it, taken away by Gilliard. To the corner for 3, it goes in and out for Dinkins. Offensive rebound, Gilliard. And it's going to Sacred Heart. Amiri Stewart defending Gilliard. Gilliard argues that Stewart knocked it free.
It was a half-hearted attempt. He kept doing, really? Okay, you're right. He gave him the thumbs up, and Gay's defense is really good, but this is not bad either. Sidner's right there, and Tanner Thomas says, you want the ball, you got to take that with you out of the net. A nice little one-legged fadeaway to get the kind of position with a 3-level scorer that Tanner Thomas is.
And we have a collision, and they're going to go with a foul on Amiri Stewart. He and Winston colliding, and they call it, I guess, an illegal screen.
Yeah, Greg Evans making the call here, and to me that's just incidental contact because he's coming for the dribble handoff. Winston beat him to the spot, so I understand maybe why Greg Evans made that call, but that looked like incidental contact that both guys leveled each other off, and basketball's a contact sport, so I don't know if I would have made that call, but I hear exactly why Greg Evans decided to make that call against Sacred Heart.
It's a meaningful call. It's the second personal on Amiri Stewart, who goes to the bench. Anquan Hill back in. 21-17 Manhattan. Dinkins wants a pass down low. Sidnor fading back, no good on the 3, and Sacred Heart has the possession. Gilliard looking to box out Tanner Thomas, but he's the last to touch.
That was a defensive clinic by Anquan Hill. You help out off your man, then you get back out on Sidner to make that a tough contested 3. Then you go and get the basketball on the 3-point shot.
Ralph Byer remains red hot, 3 for 3 from downtown, and he makes it a 1-point game.
When you can step into your shot, and we mentioned he is fearless and will hunt his shot, and when you get him a little bit of a roll right now if your man had, you got to make him put the ball on the deck and take that away.
Tanner Thomas takes away the high-to-low pass to Lubicic. Nice. It's Anquan Hill, the reverse layup for the lead. 22-21 shoe.
That feel for the game where you started at one of the defense, and Connor is so good going from point A to point B and recognizing that when your big man runs the fall, you feed the big fella with the rock, when Hill did such a great job doing that.
Hill up to 9 points. He and Ralph Byer lead the team. Dinkins, step back 3. Good. Behind the back with a dribble and a straightaway 3 for Devin Dinkins.
Yeah, he's so productive off the bench, Randy, averaging over 12.5 points a game.
Ralph Byer, his first miss from deep, and an offensive rebound by Hill. Thomas open from the wing, no good. The putback by Ralph Byer wouldn't go. Manhattan with a 2-point lead, 24-22.
You cannot take a breath in this game. This game is relentless. No matter who gets the basketball is going the other way, which is what you expect from two teams, number 1 and number 2 in the MAC in scoring.
Manhattan from the floor, 40%, 10 out of 25. Winston lost his handle on it. Connor got there. Lubicic, the handoff. Dinkins with 5 on the shot clock. Driving on Gay, and he never touched the rim. It's a shot clock violation.
his length is bothering them. Because when you're Gay and you have the ability at 6'7" to not just play small, he played tall and put his hands up, knowing that it wasn't about blocking the shot, it was about causing a broom effect to take that shot away. Really good defense by Gay against Dinkins.
Sacred Heart offense coming alive. Anquan Hill leading the way early, 4 for 6 from the floor, 9.6 rebounds. But it's the Jaspers with the lead. Nile Ralph Byer had 4 3-pointers against Niagara 2 games ago, already 3 here in the first half against Manhattan.
The one thing that Anthony Latina said about Ralph Byer is that he has gotten away from the lulls and the dips that he had because he was going through a shooting slump a little bit. He thought going up to Buffalo, where they had a chance to hang out in Buffalo, you get a sweep. They had the same hotel they stayed at. He thought that that really benefited him to get out of the lull that he had suffered about a couple of games, and that shooting stroke has definitely returned. 3 or 4 from the three-point line in the early going here in the first half.
He's hit 4 3-pointers 3 times this year. The rookie from Westchester, Pennsylvania, a pure shooter for Sacred Heart.
You can tell that he won a lot of horse competitions when he was younger, that his ability to stroke the basketball from deep and also the ability to set the feet perfectly.
He's whistled for a foul on the offensive side. Illegal screen set by Ralph Byer.
Yeah,
gives the basketball back to the Jaspers.
Yeah, he created the contact, and I thought Anquan Hill could have waited maybe about a heartbeat so he could really set that screen by trying to rush that play along. That enabled that foul to happen.
A 3 from the wing goes down for Wesley Robinson. Better than 11 points a game this year.
Yeah, a guy that shoots over 46% from the field, but also about 30% from the three-point line.
Makai Connor stripped of the basketball by Winston. Possession stays with Shu.
They run what they like to call a 2-play, where they have 2 guys at either side in the lane and then screen for everybody to cross. And you see the quick hands being established by Jaden Winston to keep that from being a layup.
Ralph Byer from Makai Connor for 3. Front iron. Hill boxed out. Tough rebound for Gilliard.
Yeah, Gilliard is really good of knowing exactly how to use his 6'3" body. He's not a 6'3" wide body, but he has great lower body strength to take any potential offensive chance away on the rebounding glass.
6 rebounds already for Gilliard. Robinson gives it to Dinkins. Ralph Byer gets Dinkins with 9 to shoot. He's hop-stepping on Ralph Byer. He flips it to Winston with 3 on the shot clock. A long 3. No good, and another shot clock violation as it's off to the left.
The defense was so good and gritty Anthony Latino, the coach of Sacred Heart, said, we know that this is going to be an up-and-down game, but we got to find a way to be really gritty on defense. It was a great possession because he tried to James Harden a little three-step step back. In the NBA, they used to call that a walk. They don't call that anymore. But it was a good job to pursue him a little bit, but not go out at him too far and contest that shot and force that violation.
What is a walk in the NBA?
When you walk down the halls in your gear and your drip, going to the arena, that's a walk in the NBA.
Tanner Thomas gets it from Ralph Byer. Little baby jump, no good. It's on the floor. Gilliard secures it. Jaden Winston off the glass, no good. Tanner Thomas had to work for that board.
Yeah, that was a great battle, winning that battle against Robinson to get that board.
Anquan Hill hits Ralph Byer. Good man defense by Gilliard. Ralph Byer fading away. No good. Griffin Baruch with a rebound. He secures his mask also. He suffered a nose injury a couple of weeks ago. Ralph Byer's open and rips his fourth three-pointer of the first half.
Yeah, you got to take that away. Gilliard did the right thing trying to collapse, but the defense was pretty good keeping Connor from doing that. You cannot leave him open.
Dinkins reverse layup, no good, and a foul underneath.
And that's on Byer. That may be his first personal foul, but you love this. And Gilliard, your man, your teammate, Devin Dinkins, did a really good job. That would have been a tough layup for Connor, but you can't leave Mr. Stuffed Animal shot right now when it comes to Byer wide open from three, because he's having everybody get a stuffed animal, the kind of shots he's making so far in this first half.
It is the first personal on Ralph Byer. We both had him, I think, for that offensive foul a couple of possessions ago.
Yeah, the illegal screen, yeah.
Dinkins with a make from the free throw line.
I'm sure they'll get that rectified at the scorer's table, but Randy, I'm with you because they did call him for that offensive foul and that illegal screen that was set about 3 minutes ago before he got that second personal foul, as Manhattan did a really good job where Dinkins is so good getting to the cup, using the dribble, and you have to make him go right. He's such a left-handed dominant player. He'll try to jab you and make you fake like he's going the other way. He's always going to try to get to the left hand.
Dinkins 2 for 2 from the line. 8 points for Dinkins and a 4-point lead for Manhattan.
I'd go a little screen and roll here with Anquan Hill. Unless Baruch is wide open for three, then, you know what, forget what I said. Carry on.
Griffin Baruch has attempted 100 three-pointers this year, 35% coming into today.
Yeah, he needed that one to go down for his confidence.
Taken away by Tanner Thomas on the feed from Dinkins. Numbers for the Pios. Makai Connor attacks the rim to his left hand, and he misses. Robinson with a rebound. Bender. Anthony Latino arguing that a timeout was called?
Well, Dinkins called timeout before the turnover happened. That's the explanation that he's getting from Mike Evans right now. That's a good call. He did call that timeout before the turnover happened in favor of Sacred Heart.
Timeout Manhattan, their first. And that keeps them in possession of the basketball when we come back. 3:56 left in the half. 1-point game. Jasper's on top.
Anchored in a region that stretches across vibrant cities and historic landscapes, our institutions are driven by a commitment to academic and athletic excellence. Our student athletes are not only champions through competition and in the classroom, they are lending a helping hand to build a better tomorrow. Join us in shaping a brighter future in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Thanks for getting these sub bowls.
Of course, no problem, big bro. Let's eat.
Danny DeVito? What did you do with our uncle?
Well, that doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. What matters most are these sub bowls.
Wait, has Danny DeVito been my brother my whole life?
I guess so. Don't tell Mom. Your favorite sub, hot or cold in a bowl. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Only the second time Manhattan and Sacred Heart meet. They'll meet in the last weekend of the regular season, Manhattan's home game. The only other time, what were you doing in 2002? I was looking for an internship.
I can guarantee you, it's the day as long. I was probably up to something no good.
Yeah, well, me neither. I didn't get that internship. Manhattan got the win, though, back in November of 2002.
It's amazing that these two campuses are so close together, and it's good that they're going to be playing in the same conference for a long time. But you would have thought they'd have played more than one time before today, considering that Manhattan College is maybe about an hour, 10 minutes away in the Bronx, New York, from the Sacred Heart campus in Fairfield, Connecticut.
One of my favorite fun facts about Manhattan, you know, they gave us the time-honored tradition of the seventh-inning stretch in the game of baseball.
Yes, they did. And the father of the 24-second shot clock is a graduate of Manhattan College.
The more you know about the MAC, all you have to know about these two teams is the scoreboard. High-flying offenses, playing with that feverish pace. Sid Noor in the paint, no good. Robinson going up for the rebound. Anybody's ball. Stays with Manhattan.
It was a good battle inside, and Robinson, such a great wide body, one of the few wide bodies at 6'7", about 220 pounds, and this was really good defense. You take Sid Noor away, you make him make a tough shot. Good job by Byer, but active hands and active legs by Wesley Robinson, keeping the ball at the other end for Manhattan.
Dinkins inbounds to Robinson. 3.5 left in the half. 29-28 Manhattan. Robinson rejected by Tanner Thomas. Makai Connor falling on the baseline, saves it to Anquan Hill, who sends up to Ralph Byer. Anquan Hill, what a play by Makai Connor with his left hand to save that.
Well, how about the play by Tanner Thomas with the block shot and staying low and being the low man winning on that defensive possession.
Makai Connor with a go-ahead three. He made the defensive play, and he rips the three on offense to put Shoe up 31-29.
It was a gritty possession at one end, and then that grit rewarded at the other end, the offense, when they settled and got the ball into the right hands, and Connor for the three.
Dinkins into the teeth of the D. Picked up his dribble. Thomas sticks with him.
If he knew how to shoot with the right hand, it was a wide open layup. He is so left-handed dominant, and Sacred Heart knew that and took it away.
Sid Noor the handoff. Robinson short on the fadeaway. It's on the floor. Connor dives for it. Sid Noor picks it up. Dinkins calls for it. Open for three. He misses. Baruch with the rebound. Piles look to push.
Yeah, how about Byer with that checkout? Because Gilliard is so good in the offensive glass, but Byer did not lose that battle.
Tanner Thomas double team. Anquan Hill open for three. In and out. Baruch the tip, but it ends up with Bender.
And boy, they missed Sid Noor wide open. He had leaked ahead and nobody saw him. If Bender had kept his head up, that would have been a wide open dunk.
Bender pulls up. It spins out. Another rebound for Baruch. 2 minutes left in the half.
Yeah, the game should slow down now because you got a bunch of tired 10 to 20 to 24-year-olds out there. This game has been at such a rapid, quick pace because everything has been hotly contested at both ends of the floor. So everybody can use kind of like this timeout by settling the ball down if you're Sacred Heart in the offensive possession.
And of course, Manhattan played against Iona in their rivalry game on Friday. Sacred Heart, the one team in the MAC that had Friday off. So they've got their legs presumably a little more than Manhattan. Thomas misses the corner three. Sid Noor spots up, back rim. He follows his shot. Sid Noor up and under, followed by Hill.
So good at seeing where the ball went and then going to get the basketball. When you're 6'8", you can eat up a lot of ground quickly because he's able to go get the basketball and go straight back at the basket. Good challenge by Byer, but then Sid Noor doesn't just stick and stay. You go get the basketball, that one power dribble, and then you put a foul on Anquan Hill. And when you mentioned about Sacred Heart having a week since they last played, this is the second time that this happened to Manhattan where a team has had a long week off and they've had to play kind of a back-to-back. But John Gallagher, the coach, told me for the game, well, we're want to know in these situations, but next year I'm going to talk to the scheduling committee from the MAC to make sure that we're not going to be the only team involved in something like this because they got another situation like this later on this year when they take on Ryder, where Ryder gets a week off and they're playing sort of a back-to-back.
And if you're on the other sideline, you're Anthony Latini, you say, hey, schedule is what the schedule is. And you know, in theory, it should be an advantage for Sacred Heart. Obviously, playing here at home, they take, and I think it's required that you call it the vaunted Western New York trip here in the MAC. You get the 2 wins out at Niagara and Canisius on the vaunted trip to Western New York.
Anytime a Jeopardy word can make the broadcast, that's good.
Connor the hezzy and the pass to the corner. Thomas misses the three. Tied at 31 as we approach the final minute of the first half.
You can live with that look if you're Sacred Heart, too. Good defense by Bryce Johnson.
He stops Winston, and Baruch has the rebound. His pass is deflected off the hands of Gilliard onto Thomas for Connor. Makai Connor spins around the defense. He misses. Thomas goes up. And Thomas, with his effort underneath, is fouled.
Yeah, and also Byers' effort as well, because John Gallagher thought that he touched the rim, which would have been an offensive goaltending, and I don't think that was going to be the call. But that activity, and I think anytime Connor can get that one-on-one, Randy, and get past the defender, it's going to create so many great opportunities. He beats him off the drill with the left hand. He didn't get the finish, but then you see Byers' activity kept that alive. He won't get credit for an offensive rebound, but if he doesn't do that, that does not allow Tanner Thomas to sneak in there, swipe in there, and get a chance to go to the line after getting his chance.
And he puts the Pioneers on top on what is just the second team foul of the first half for Manhattan.
It's amazing. Tanner Thomas, Coach Gallagher told me, he said, well, if he's not a player of the year candidate, then why are we having a voting when it comes to Tanner Thomas? And Anthony Latino believes the best is still to come, which is saying something by what we've seen from him early on in the season, in their first season of MAC when it comes to Tanner Thomas and the Pioneers.
Connecticut product from Stanford, a redshirt junior. He makes both free throws. Baruch nearly forced a turnover. Bender goes back to get it. 33-31 Sacred Heart. Final 35 seconds of the first half. Winston has some space. Ralph Byers sticks with him. Outside of Signor. Driving on Thomas. The pull-up is short. The rebound of Baruch. The shot clock is off.
How good was that defense everywhere? Byer on his man. Thomas on his man. Baruch getting things started with that deflection, kind of disrupting the rhythm and flow that they were looking for Manhattan in that offensive set.
Sacred Heart will have the lead at the half. They're looking for more to add to it. 3 seconds. Connor for three. No good. Manhattan gets the stop. But Shu goes to the locker room up 33-31.
Yeah, Connor had Bryce Johnson, who did a great job slipping inside on the screen to get what he wanted. If he had found him with the rock, Randy, that would have been a layup chance and maybe even a dunk opportunity for Bryce Johnson. But we expected an offensive first half. These two teams did not disappoint, involving the two top scoring teams in the MAC in Manhattan and Sacred Heart.
Kyle Steinway on his way over for the walk-off interview before heading to the locker room as we take one more look at that stop by Manhattan.
Yeah, Bryce Johnson did such a great job with that little ghost screen where he set it and then slipped it. And if Connor had his head up just a little bit longer, finding with the rock, that could have been an easy layup chance inside.
Kyle Steinway, associate head coach of Sacred Heart, with us. Coach, we know that these are the two top offenses in the league, and it showed in the first half. How did you like the pace, the shot selection, your overall offense from the Pioneers?
I thought the offense was good. I thought we took some quick shots a little bit early, but we started getting some inside-out threes later in the half on paint touches, which I like a lot better. The offense is good. The thing that to me is a difference maker, everybody talks about Tanner Thomas and he is a great offensive player. When he defends the way he's locked in defending right now, it's a major difference maker, and that's a big reason that they have two of the best front court players in the league, and they only have 31 points. Need another half like that out of him. Yeah,
well, you need another half out of that with everybody. Byers did a great job not only shooting the basketball, but what about his defense guarding the guards from Manhattan that can really punish the defense when they get downhill with the dribble?
You're exactly right, Frank. I mean, these guys did a great job. We've been talking about it all week. You know, one-on-one defense, just sitting down, staying in front of your guy, keeping out of the paint, and everybody's responded so far.
They were only whistled for 2 personal fouls. Is there an opportunity at all to try to attack? I know you are a three-point shooting team. You love the outside. Is there a possibility to attack on the inside and maybe open up that three-point shooting?
Definitely. You know, we have a lot of trust in these guys. We give them a lot of confidence. They know what to do. You know, we put the ball in their hands, and you know, if the drive is there, we'll live with the drive. If the inside-out three is there, we'll go with that as well.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, guys.
Coach.
Kyle Steinway, we always appreciate his time before the half. We told you it was going to be good offense. We told you it was going to be a good one.
Yeah.
First 20 minutes has lived up.
Yeah, people pay attention to us. They know it's good for them. And if you know it's good for you, stick around for the second half.
That's right. First half was good. Second half will be better. 33-31 Sacred Heart at halftime. At halftime at the Pitt Center, the Sacred Heart men's lacrosse team honored for their championship in the MAC last year, their first NCAA trip. They won it over Manhattan. So the Sacred Heart Pioneers getting ready for a chance to defend their title in the MAC. February also means the beginning
Yes.
of lacrosse season.
All right.
We like to call it crossover season in the biz, winter into spring. Right now we're in the thick of the MAC playoff chase. 10 teams out of the 13 go to Atlantic City. These head-to-head matchups for teams like Manhattan and Sacred Heart are so important when they have similar records. 33-31, Sacred Heart at the half, led by Niall Ralph Byer. Man, can that kid shoot it. 4 3-pointers in the first half.
Yeah, it's not just his shooting ability and finding the ability to make those kind of shots, like you mentioned, Randy, 4 or 5 in the three-point line. But I thought his activity in the offensive glass, the latter part of that first half, was really, really good, keeping plays alive. But when you're able to run to your spots, you get a stroke like that, you can make a lot of things work. But I thought his defense, the latter part of that first half, was really good against the opposing guards because they can be a problem. We've seen that from Winston. We've seen that from Dinkins. But By's been able to stick his nose in there, play that body positioning on defense, and not get worn out by the dribble penetration by the Jaspers of the backcourt of Manhattan.
And Dinkins is leading the way for that backcourt for Manhattan. Leading scorer for the Jaspers in the first half. Such an interesting look because he comes off the bench, and they give you a different look when he moves into the point guard position, but leading the way for Manhattan here in the first.
Yeah, he allows the point guard, Jaden Winston, to play off the ball because now you have two point guards in the game at the same time that show the great ability to play off each other because now your offense doesn't suffer when Dinkins comes in the game. Second leading scorer on this team off the bench, averaging over 12 points a game, and his ability to get into the lane and find people, that was something I thought that Sacred Heart did a much better job taking that away in the latter part of the first half.
Two fast offenses, offense. It's a 2-point game in the second half. It comes down, a game like this often does, to who has 1 or 2 bigger defensive plays, who can get that 1 or 2 extra possessions in a 1 or 2 possession game. And Kyle Steinway liked what he saw from Tanner Thomas in particular in the first half.
Well, both of the coaches talked about that. Coach Gallagher said, we know it's going to be an offensive up-and-down game, and Latina echoed the sentiments. But the one thing they both said that if we're going to finish the game and find a way to finish off our opponent, we got to be doing it on the defensive end. We'll see exactly if that's going to come to fruition, what they both told me before this game got started.
Big second half coming up between Manhattan and Sacred Heart. It's a 2-point game. Position in the standings on the line between the Jaspers and the Pioneers. The second half coming up between Shoe and Manhattan. LSU looking to win on their home floor. 33-31 at the half. 20 big minutes at least to go between the Jaspers and the Pioneers after another high-pace first half of the Sacred Heart offense. 7 3-pointers, led by 4 from Niall Ralph Byer. 12 rebounds from Will Sidnor.
Yeah.
So, the Pioneers didn't exactly hit it efficiently. They hit it often with 7 3-pointers. Manhattan was the more efficient team from the floor, but Sidnor making his presence felt on the glass with the 12 boards for the Jaspers.
Yeah, but they made him work in the offensive end and that's a lot of credit to Tanner Thomas because Sidnor's 2 of 9 from the field. The 6 points to go with those 12 rebounds. He has not had it really, really easy after the first part of the first half. Bender's been really good getting to the lane and making those kind of shots. When he settled for threes, that's weak in the offense. Connor has been terrific in the first half. Maybe only 3 points, but 6 assists and only 1 turnover, playing the full 20 minutes of play. But when you get an Energizer Bunny off the bench known as Ralph Byer, he's been able to go, and make shots on the outside, 4 from out the 3-point line. But this is when it's going to find out exactly who is going to be the grown men, when you got to box out guys and be tough on defense. Tanner Thomas has really done that at both ends of the floor, hitting that little Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway in the first half part of his effort. But this is where it happens for him. I thought he was really good doing that in the part of this first half, making that defensive play. And then you're able to get out in transition, and Byer can run the spots and make those kind of 3-point shots. And then Connor was doing a great job. Anquan Hill was terrific in the first half. 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and no turnovers in 15 minutes of play. So it will be very interesting because they had a lot of confidence leaving Byer on the floor a little bit more because normally he spells Amiri Stewart and also Connor. They left him on the floor, and Farouk, even though he didn't score a lot of points, I thought his effort along everybody else defensively was really a big-time factor in the final stages of that first half of Sacred Heart.
As we take a look at the first half stats, with Sacred Heart up 33-31, the second half is going to be the difference in one team walking out of here with a 3-game winning streak. John Gallagher said his Manhattan team's win against Iona, their most complete game effort of the season on Friday night. That was on the heels of a win against Mount St. Mary's. Can they put a half together like this again to make it 3 straight?
Well, we mentioned with Sacred Heart, they're number 1 in the MAC in assists. They're also number 2 in assist to turnover ratio. They had 9 assists to go with 4 turnovers. And you look at 28 rebounds from Manhattan, 2 guys had 20. Sidner had 12, and Gilliard had 8. So they've been able to control that. But now we'll find who's going to take control early on in the second half. The first 4 minutes are going to be very, very important.
The second half between Sacred Heart and Manhattan coming right up. 33-31, the Pioneers lead the Jaspers. The second half is underway. 33-31 Sacred Heart. Manhattan basketball to begin the second half. Bender steps back and looks to put the Jaspers up for three. No good. And a fight underneath for the basketball. Connor wrapped up with Gilliard, and it's going to the Pioneers.
And how about a little defensive switch early on? Anquan Hill getting the early assignment on Sidner. Will Sidner, the outstanding freshman. Tanner Thomas did a really good job. I love the give him a different look. A longer defender. Anquan Hill can be a good defender and also a good defensive rebounder as well.
Amiri Stewart to start the second half after limited time with 2 fouls in the first. Tanner Thomas banging his way in over the shoulder, off the glass. They count it.
I don't know how that shot, A, got up, B, it was able to have that ability to put the shot on the backboard. That's when the backboard stopped more than anything else, because this is really good defense by Robinson. He spins. That's a walk. He got away with steps because he lifted that pivot foot, but you do not have to apologize if they don't call things against you if you're Tanner Thomas.
He shot that ball backwards. and it was like good form too, 2 hands on the ball over the head. And it's a 3-point play as he connects on the free throw. 36-31 shoot.
You described that perfectly because that's exactly what happened. I still don't believe what I saw.
Ball's on the floor. Connor comes away with it. Pios by 5. Connor behind the back. No look to Hill. And he draws a foul. Couldn't finish, but he's got free throws coming.
Yeah, John Gallagher is asking for Anquan Hill that maybe he warded off Sidner with the left hand. And this was a great dig in to take the ball away because it was good defense by Hill, then the distraction by Stewart, then Connor gets the steal, and then you see right there. And Gallagher may have had a point about the ward off. More often than not, you won't get that call in favor of the defense, but that was really good defense at one and leading to that fast break opportunity the other end for Sacred Heart.
First one goes for Hill.
I still go back to that defensive switch, Randy. Tanner Thomas had the assignment in the first half. Anquan Hill getting the assignment of Sidner in the second half. And so far, so good for Sacred Heart, making that defensive switch on the defensive side for the coaching staff for Sacred Heart.
Already 2 team fouls on the Jaspers in the first minute of the second half, matching their total for the first half. And it's 38-31 Sacred Heart. Amiri Stewart going for the steal. Chasing it down in the backcourt, Sidnor recollects. Sidnor's pass broken up again by Hill for the second time. On to Connor, then to Baruch. He slings to Hill. Up against Gilliard, and he gets inside Gilliard for 2 more. The Pioneers have come out storming. They got a 9-point lead.
Those active hands in the passing lanes, and the offense has not been able to find that kind of sets what they want to do because Sacred Heart's defense has done a great job taking stuff away.
That breaks it up. Bender for 3 for Manhattan.
Talk about knowing the situation and getting it out there.
The answer from Thomas on the other side for 3.
I love the fact that he makes a hero shot at one end, Bender, and then Sacred Heart quickly the other end, and Tanner Thomas did a great job running to the spot to get the open 3.
43-34 Sacred Heart. It's Amiri Stewart again with a takeaway, and he threw it off the chest of Bender. But before doing so, he stepped out of bounds trying to keep the possession.
Well, if he's auditioning to join the Kansas City Chiefs in the defensive backfield next week, he's doing a pretty good job of that whole deal. And how about Tanner Thomas again? They make a great shot at one end, but Sacred Heart didn't allow them to celebrate. They go at the other end, get a wide open 3 in transition when the defense was tardy in transition by Manhattan.
10-3 run for Sacred Heart to start the second half, 2 minutes and change in. 43-34 Pios. Pull up in the paint. No good. Jaden Winston. Gilliard is whistled for a reach and foul as Connor was off to the races. Gilliard thought he stole it clean.
John Gallagher is looking at Mike Evans saying, there's no way you could have seen this 25 feet across the way with a good job to get that ball in position. That looked like all orange down there by Gilliard with his long hands and his long reach. I thought that was a pretty good defensive play to take that ball away. Hard times for an honest man when it comes to Gilliard. It got like a really good play to get the steal to go the other way.
Gilliard with his first personal, 3rd on the team. Winston out there playing with 2 personals. Amiri Stewart to the cup with a finger roll. 45-34 Sacred Heart.
If I'm Gallagher, I don't want to wait for the under-16 timeout. I think that's what he's waiting for because right now, this early part of this second half has gotten away from his basketball team by the tenacity of Sacred Heart at both ends.
A 12-3 run for Sacred Heart to start the half. They're running around. Dinkins got Connor to fly by defensively. There's contact underneath. Gilliard fighting for the rebound. And the foul is on Sacred Heart.
Yeah, that's been their best offensive play, Randy, that offensive rebound, because you're right. Their defense has been everywhere. Nothing is easy. Nothing has not been contested. And Gilliard is so good using his frame to get in between people. He can make those crowd rebounds where there's a crowd around him, and somehow, some way, at his 6'3" size, he's able to get the basketball.
It's Hill's second personal, first on the team. An 11-point lead for the Pioneers. Bender for three, and he rips into that lead. Bender.
When he doesn't settle, Randy, he can make those shots. When he settles or he takes ill-advised threes, it weakens the defense. It weakens the offense. When your guards can find you, you can step into your shot. You make things a lot easier if you're Shaquille Bender.
Will Bender to double figures now with 10. Amiri Stewart from the corner. Off the mark, Tanner Thomas races down the rebound. Fresh set here for the Pios. Baruch up faking. Long, strong two-hand skip to the corner to Thomas, looking for Connor. 4 on the shot clock. He fades away for 3. No good. Offensive rebound. Baruch. A fresh 20 for Pioneers. Stewart lost his handle on it. Taken away by Devin Dinkins. And then Stewart races back and looks to pick his pocket out of bounds.
How good was Dinkins? Being low and then the quick hands to take the ball away, but then give Stewart a lot of credit, not giving up on that play, keeping that fast break opportunity. That have to be a reset for Manhattan.
Well, Myrie Stewart been an efficient scorer, just 2 points today, but doing things like this, racing back, playing defense, and putting the Jaspers on their heels.
Hold on. It's only noise.
Can Anthony Edwards live up to the hype?
It's only rivalry. A little hard work. Only a kick. It's only a jump.
This is a story about strength. It wakes up early in the morning, stays up late, moves mountains, and travels the world. It makes adventure and hard work possible. Strength delivers food to tables, packages to doorsteps, products to stores, and kids to practice. It shows up everywhere you show up. Hercules tires are built for almost every driver and every vehicle. Find the right Hercules for your story and let our strength drive yours.
Hey, what's up, roomie? I got us some Jersey Mike subs.
Danny DeVito? Are you my freshman roommate?
And that doesn't matter. This is a Jersey Mike's commercial where the subs matter most. I mean, look how big that is. We'd eat that for lunch and for dinner. Hey, we eat that. Hey, who let the rents in? You want a Jersey Mike's?
Introduce us to your new roommate.
Mom, it's Danny DeVito.
That's mine. Don't touch it. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Anchored in a region that stretches across vibrant cities and historic landscapes, our institutions are driven by a commitment to academic and athletic excellence. Our student athletes are not only champions through competition and in the classroom, they are lending a helping hand to build a better tomorrow. Join us in shaping a brighter future in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Line in the box score right now, not necessarily be impressed. 1 for 5 from the floor, 0 for 2 for 3, 3 rebounds. But if you've watched him play here in the second half, as his team has, it's inspiring. He is all over the floor and making Manhattan very uncomfortable in this second half.
Because his defensive activity, to back up your point, Randy, has been terrific. And the one thing that Anthony Latina told us about Stewart, he said, he has an impact on the game. He's a great teammate, but he has to stay out of foul trouble. He's been able to do that. He has not been good offensively, but that does not mean he's been lacking in other areas. And I thought his defensive energy at the beginning of this second half has set the tone for Sacred Heart.
Helping pace the Pioneers to a 12-6 run to start the second half. 45-37. Shoe on top. Dinkins a deep three. No good. Tanner Thomas with the rebound. His 5th, up to Amiri Stewart. They double him, and he loses the basketball. Dinkins away with it, up the floor. Winston, a little disregard of Connor.
It sure was. And I'm glad they let that go, because that was just 3 guys competing. Nobody gained a disadvantage at the other.
Bender behind the back, stolen by Makai Connor. Connor, no look, and it was out of the reach of Anquan Hill. Numbers the other way, Gilliard driving, stopped by Connor. Rebound Thomas, up the floor. Makai Connor couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, I'm taking a timeout for Anthony Latina, and this is a great timeout. With 30 seconds, take that 30-second timeout. That was getting way too out of hand, where guys were part of the DTM club doing too much, and that's what everybody was trying to do. This is a really smart timeout by Latina to try to calm his team down, because you do so many different things right at the defensive end, then you can't be loose with the basketball trying to make a play. It's okay to take a beat and wait a little bit and get everything where you want to have.
15 minutes left in the second, 45-37 shoot. I tell you, I don't think there's a mascot that could move in the MAC like Brother Jasper. Like he's at the club in the Boogie Down Bronx on a Saturday night. Come on, it's Sunday, Brother Jasper.
Put it this way, if you live in the Bronx and know how to dance, then you need to leave school. I don't care if you're a Brother Jasper, not a Brother Jasper.
Even Big Red's giving it up.
You have to. Mascot game, respecting mascot game. No
real
doubt about that.
recognizes real.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, Brother Jasper was the baseball coach, athletic director, and head coach of the resident students in the late 1800s, and the mascots and the name of the mascot named after the Brother Jasper, who was in charge of things at Manhattan College.
And back to who gave us the 7th inning stretch.
That's right, absolutely. Baseball's not far from your mind, is it?
Always. February means pitchers and catchers, too.
It's true.
Sidnor, the reverse layup over his shoulder, scores on Anquan Hill.
Yeah, Anquan Hill did everything right, but good offense beating good defense there. That was a pretty move by Sidnor.
That makes it a 2-possession game. 45-39, the Pioneers. Hill back to a 3-possession game with a chef's kiss for 3.
He shot the ball extremely well from the three-point line, and his ability to step out, it was great that he didn't just stay at one spot, relocated when they doubled the post inside against Thomas.
Sacred Heart's 9th three-pointer of the game. Winston stopped by Baruch. Forced him into an uncomfortable shot. Thomas the rebound. Connor back to Hill, looking for another 3. He's got it. 10 3-pointers for Sacred Heart. Back-to-back threes by Hill.
He knew that ball was going down the rope as soon as it left his hand because he did such a great job running to the spot. How about Connor with the great press at the defense when they were not back in good standing?
19 for Hill. The floater, no good for Winston. Thomas the rebound. Connor spins Winston and hits Baruch for three. No good. You're human after all from deep.
Well, you know what it is? That's a good shot. You can live with that in transition if you're Latina because you did all the good work in the offensive end to take away the offense of Manhattan.
Dinkins with the up fake on Hill to open up Sidnor. Step back three, no. Thomas going up against Gilliard. A foul whistled underneath.
Yeah, they got the two-hand shove that tried to push you out of the club foul that they're going to call on the loose ball. But Anquan Hill, take a bow, brother. You've been able to make back-to-back threes. Your defense has been completely solid. He has had a both ends of the floor stellar game so far when it comes to Anquan Hill, the young man out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
19 points, 7 for 10 from the floor, 3 for 5 from deep. Perfect 2 for 2 from the free throw line. 6 rebounds, 2 assists as well for Anquan Hill today. 51-39, Sacred Heart. Falou Gay in and defending Dinkins. Bryce Johnson in, defending Wesley Robinson, and defending him well.
It was outstanding by Bryce Johnson. Robinson wanted to use his body to tell him where he was going to go. But Robinson didn't realize that Bryce Johnson just stayed square. He didn't give him one side or the other to try to pin off and know exactly what kind of shot to take. Really good position defense and physical defense inside.
Bryce Johnson been so important. He's averaging 23 minutes a game, 6 rebounds a game, and just under double figure scoring at 9.2 points a game. In a game like this, limited to 6 minutes, but in there right now for some big role play.
And a little zone defense being shown by Manhattan, a little 2-3. How about that pass inside by Gay?
Johnson, too strong on the window. The long feed ahead to Gilliard. Up and under on Ralph Byer and Baruch for 2.
It was a great gather because he didn't realize Baruch was there, but didn't panic, didn't get flustered, able to gather the basketball and still take it strong to the cup when he was at a disadvantage on 1-on-2.
Sacred Heart by 10, coming up on 12 minutes left. Hill outside, Baruch a 3, no good. Gay battling near the free throw line with Dinkins, but Dinkins outwills him for the ball and leads Shaquille Bender on the fast break for the jam.
And the defense, when it comes to 2-3 zone, has kind of flustered Sacred Heart a little bit because we saw that in the second half when they had that loss versus Siena up in Albany. They had a big lead early. Siena went to a matchup 2-3 zone and completely took Sacred Heart out of the offense.
51-43 Sacred Heart. Baruch loses the ball. Bender hits the deck. Energy play from Manhattan. They've got the possession. Arrow is in their favor when we come back.
And a good job by John Gallagher. You go to 2-3 zone, and then you have a chance to match up with a little press a little bit after the dunk. Really good coaching adjustment there.
51-43, Sacred Heart with a lead. Manhattan looking to dig in. Quill Bender pushing the floor. Devin Dinkins with a big box out and rebounded on the other end. Bender trying to give Manhattan a lift with a dunk coming out of the timeout. 51-43, Sacred Heart with a lead, but Bender finishes the energy play.
Yeah, he scored 8 points here in the second half, and his back-to-back threes really kept this game from being almost a runaway. When Sacred Heart goes up 45-34, all of a sudden he had 2 threes surrounding a three-pointer by Tanner Thomas. He's been terrific in the second part of this second half, and the turnover battle is starting to be won by Manhattan because Sacred Heart had 5 turnovers in the first 27 minutes. They've had 4 in the last 3 minutes. So if you're Sacred Heart, you got to value the basketball because Manhattan is trying to speed you up and get you out of sorts offensively.
11.5 to go. Sacred Heart looking to win on their home floor as they begin a stretch of 4 of 5 here at the pit. Robinson misses the 3. Anquan Hill slows it down. Hill with his 7th rebound, so flirting with a double-double now to go along with his 19 points on 7 of 10 shooting.
And Gay has to be careful with the high dribble against Dinkins. Dinkins was eyeing in knowing that he's the lower man. He could probably get the basketball if he's too high to dribble.
Baruch misses the spot up 3, and Falou Gay goes up for the putback, but he's hit for a foul.
Yeah, he's climbed the back of Bender trying to get that offensive position and trying to get that offensive chance. And that was a quick rest for when it comes to Connor and Stewart because they're back in the ball game. And this is something that when you climb the back, you don't mind the activity on the offensive glass by Gay, but when a man has you boxed out like Bender was able to do that, you're going to get that foul every time.
Third team foul on Sacred Heart. Connor back in on the floor in favor of Gay.
Yeah, Connor yelled at his defense, come on, let's go, because he knows exactly what kind of defense being played by Manhattan.
Well, that's not necessarily a defensive play. Robinson just lost his dribble. Johnson got on it, and then he got fouled.
Because he thought he had the backdoor cut. But then when he realized the ball was not going to get there in time, that's when the turnover happened. Bryce Johnson did a great job being in the passing lane, but he thought he had Gilliard on that backdoor cut against the defense of Sacred Heart. When the Sacred Heart defense took that away, that's when the turnover happened against Manhattan.
Robinson with his 2nd personal, team's 4th of the 2nd. Amiri Stewart kicks. Ralph Byer protects against Bender. No look skip to the corner from Connor to Stewart, who faked the pass and hits the 3.
Don't you love the cross-court pass and then the show and stay with the basketball because they thought he's going to get it to Byer, who's been so hot in this game from the three-point line against that 2-3 zone.
The 11th three-pointer today for Sacred Heart. Bender looking for the answer, no good. The rebound to the free throw line for Dinkins. His putback wouldn't fall, and it's Connor who saves it along the baseline, then a behind-the-back dribble. He lost it. Dinkins took it away, but then he takes it back. Up to Amiri Stewart into the teeth of the defense. Going up against Sidnor and Robinson. What action today. How fun is this, Freddie?
We warned everybody that you have to expect an up-and-down game. You're going to see plenty of action at both ends of the floor, and I'm still trying to figure out how to kind of extricate himself with 2 people. And how about that defense? It looked like that Stewart's going to go in for a layup, at least get 2 shots at the line, but Sidnor's quick hands and long hands taking that away.
Falou Gay inbounds to Bryce Johnson, who gives to Amiri Stewart. Back to Gay. Driving baseline. The reverse layup by Gay, no good. He calls for a foul, but there was no contact there. And Gay has struggled a bit from the floor this year, just 32%. Manhattan looking for the answer to make it hurt, but Robinson is short on the 3. Gay up the floor to Thomas. Pioneers run their set. Bryce Johnson keeping the dribble low to his left.
That's pretty.
That
Boy,
is.
they're good. Man, oh man, you set up the defense, you go strong with the right hand, and then you were quick but not in a hurry, and a great spin to the left hand. That was pretty by Bryce Johnson with the dribble.
His first points of the day open up a 13-point lead for Sacred Heart, their largest lead. Devin Dinkins slips inside the baseline and draws a foul. Gay was in the vicinity, and Gay is the one who is shaken up apparently the most.
I mean, look at this by Bryce Johnson. Okie doke, gotcha Sidnor. Sidnor was everything right. Slid the feet over perfectly, got in that position, but that was just great sight recognition and adjustment by Johnson to get a pretty little left-handed float in the lane when the defense took the front side, right side away from him, trying to get that layup.
The foul is on Falou Gay, his 3rd personal. Giving Devin Dinkins free throws where he is 85% this year.
And I love that Latina's leaving Gay in there because it could be very easy to take out a young player, but you don't want to wreck his confidence because you're going to need him in stretches, especially as the backup point guard. So pretty good rest for Connor, and you leave Gay out there as well to make sure he gets some experience.
Devin Dinkins goes 2 for 2. The free throw shooting nearly perfect on both sides today. Dinkins now into double figures. Thomas for 3, misses. A one-handed rebound for Will Sidnor. His 13th board today. From the corner, Robinson, the 3! And Manhattan is back into it.
Robinson, not known as a three-point shooter, you would think that, but shooting over 37% from the three-point line as a big man.
Johnson muscling his way in. Robinson sticks with him, and it's out on Sacred Heart. Robinson gets the stop on the other end for Manhattan.
Johnson is asking, said, I got fouled twice, but I don't think so. I thought this was pretty good defense on the double team, and there's off the knee right there. He thought that Jaden Winston got him on the right arm. He may have had a point there with that, but they've rewarded that kind of physical play, but they're not going to blow that whistle against the defense.
It's a big possession here for Manhattan, and Shaquille Bender comes off the screen and makes it a 6-point game with under 8.5 to go. Makai Connor, Tanner Thomas, corner 3. It does not fall for him. Wesley Robinson, another rebound for Manhattan. Robinson down the paint. No look for the dunk, but Sidnor missed it. And then he hung on the rim. A whistle is blown right away. He had the chance to throw it down, and then he stayed on the rim a little long.
Yeah, what did the students say? You can't do that. You can't do that in that situation. Everything right where you get that fast break opportunity at the other end, and that's going to be the call. We'll see what Mike Evans has to say.
So he had a chance to throw down a dunk and make it a 4-point lead. He misses the dunk and then gets a technical.
Yeah, Mike Evans explained it. It's a one-shot technical for hanging on the rim with the ball in the cylinder. So it'll be a one-shot technical being taken by Sacred Heart. That's what the discussion involving John Gaffney, the crew chief, along with Greg Evans and Mike Evans. And Mike Evans explained to us that was what the call was going to be against Sidner for hanging on the rim. That's a one-shot technical foul.
Tanner Thomas unable to take advantage of that one-shot technical. A rare miss today from the free throw line on either side.
Yeah, we've seen this before, Randy, because remember we were here for St. Peter's, and how many free throws in the second half did Sacred Heart miss, where they missed the front and the running ones or went 1 for 2 on two-shot fouls. So you get an opportunity with a 6-point game and a chance to maybe have a 3 or 4-point possession. You can't allow that empty trip to happen when you get a chance to have a free throw.
That is their first miss today, 5 for 6 as a team. And Manhattan 8 for 9 from the free throw line.
And if you're Sacred Heart, you're going to see this kind of pressure from Manhattan. If you get the ball in the middle, attack the rim. Don't just settle for a 3-point shot. They want you to take that because they're banking that you're going to miss that, then they can get out in transition. If I'm Sacred Heart against this pressure 2-2-1 defense, you get the ball in the middle, and then you attack the rim and get downhill.
More time on the floor here in the second half for Bryce Johnson. Amiri Stewart hangs on the baseline. He connects and the foul. Little hezzy move on the baseline by Amiri Stewart.
Well, don't you just love when they pay attention to elders? The elders said, hey, youngins, get the ball inside, attack it, get into the lane. And that's exactly what they did, getting that finish in an and one.
7 points today for Stewart. Joe DeSantis loves to say it's not how many you make, it's when you make them. Amiri Stewart with a chance for an and one. Makai Connor picking up his 11th assist on that drive for the basket and the foul for Amiri Stewart. The foul whistled against Sidnor, his second personal.
And you love the hang and bang that he was able, once you attack the press and then you get the ball into the lane for those paint touches. It's one thing to jack up a three, you get the defense so pushed back, or you have a man advantage. And we know, Randy, we're hockey guys. You got to take advantage of the man advantage. They had a 2-on-1 power play down below, and they did a smart thing by getting to the rim and not settling for a three.
Chance for a three-point play for Amiri Stewart, coming off a 16-point performance at Canisius. And 11 assists for Makai Connor. Stewart unable to take advantage of the free throw coming out of the media timeout.
Yeah, you missed those two free throws. You missed that three-point opportunity there, and then the free throw for on technical foul. You should be up by 10 points if you're Sacred Heart instead of only up being by 8.
Off the screen, Bender misses the three. An offensive rebound somehow by Gilliard, who kicks to the corner, and it goes down for Dinkins.
When you're the second best offensive rebounder in the MAC, then if you're not going to be blocked out, then you take advantage of that. Sacred Heart didn't find him. He found the ball and then found the three off the pass.
That is a big three for Devin Dinkins, who's up to 13 in the game. 3 for 6 from deep, and it makes it a 5-point game. Stewart lost the ball. He tried to force it inside to Ralph Byer. Stolen by Winston. And then there's a reach-in foul. Looks like on Ralph Byer, racing back defensively down the floor.
No, I think they may call it on Stewart because it looked like he had a little elbow shove in the back on that fast break, and this is what Gilliard is so good at. He's able to track the basketball so well. And how about the patience and a good job relocating from the three-point line by Dinkins for that three-point shot.
That is Stewart's third personal foul with under 7 to go. On the inbounds play, Devin Dinkins is heating up in the second half. Another three, and it's a 2-point game.
Manhattan will fight you. They will battle you. That's something Anthony Latina expected. That peskiness was not going to allow them to take themselves out of this game.
4 3-pointers today for Dinkins. He connects on back-to-back possessions. He has 16. 58-56, Sacred Heart, that ball up for grabs, and Dinkins has it. Dinkins for the tie. He's going to the line.
And if you're Sacred Heart, the minute you throw a cross-court pass with this activity on defense, that is not going to end well for your offense. And now if you're Sacred Heart, they're thinking instead of reacting and not just running the offensive plays. I mean, the attack once again on the defensive side. You get a chance to get in transition. Devin Dinkins is so good getting that. It was a little ball there, but definitely across the hand. And now all of a sudden the game that at one point was deeply in Sacred Heart's favor has a chance to be a tie game with 6:26 to play here in the second half.
Sacred Heart at one point had a 13-point lead halfway through the second. And that 13-point lead has been erased in a hurry. Dinkins does not tie it. He goes 1 for 2. And Sacred Heart is still in the lead, but by 1. Connor finds Anquan Hill cutting. Anquan Hill off the glass for 2, and he's got 21.
It looked like that play was in danger because it looked like Connor was going nowhere fast, but he's able to find Hill on the cut.
Dinkins open for 3. He misses. Ralph Byer gets up for the rebound. Was his third board today, but it comes in a big spot. Ralph Byer.
How about that?
With the hesitation underneath and the lay-in, and it's back to a 5-point Sacred Heart lead.
He wanted to get the ball to Connor. They weren't going to allow him to do it, so he kept the dribble alive. The defense parted, and he went down the middle with a great finish at the rim.
Ralph Byer with 14. Driving layup. Good. Bender gets 2 more. He's got 16.
Bender, for me, has been the best player in this second half, no matter who it's been.
Baruch, one more pass. The up fake by Ralph Byer. He fades away. He's looking for a foul. None coming. Winston with the ball ahead to Dinkins for the finger roll on the fast break. Back to a 1-point game. 62-61 Sacred Heart.
And if you're Byer, you can't complain about calls or think you got fouled. This has been a physical game, and in this league, it's a physical league. You're going to have to play through contact and not expect the guys in the white shirts and black shirts to bail you out.
Hang on. Final 5 minutes. A 1-point game. Ralph Byer, the crossover to his left. 2 more for Niall Ralph Byer.
That's an exhausted young man going at the other end right now, Byer. But how about that move? Did a great job to wait, Randy, to hug the defender, and then exploded to the cup and then finish with the left hand.
Dinkins looking for contact. No whistle, but he's got the basket. Going chest to chest with Connor. A 1-point game. Makai Connor saying that he leaned in, pleading his case to the official. It's a 1-point game with 4:40 to go. 64-63, Sacred Heart.
Everything was going good here, right in there. Yeah, that's nothing. That's not a foul. I know what Connor was trying to do. That wasn't a case of leaning in. That was a case of two guys just walling each other off. And Anthony Latina didn't even challenge that hard when it came to what people thought should have been a call against the offense. But I thought, in the words of Bill Raftery, that's a play honor. That's something that happens. You just take the ball to the net and move on.
Devin Dinkins is balling on the other side of Sacred Heart's bench for the Jaspers. Redshirt sophomore from Washington with 21 today. And it is the 4th time he's crossed the 20-point barrier this season.
Yeah, Latina said he's a major threat, and we've been able to see that because their defensive intensity ratcheted up, and Dinkins has been a beneficiary. But they've also called plays from getting a little baseline screen where he can knock down a couple of threes. And also, when you're late, and we say in football, you can't be high and late over the middle. Today, you really can't be high and late anywhere throwing passes cross-court against this defense because Dinkins, as well as Winston, time and time again, have been able to take the rock and go the other way and make it work offensively.
He was the catalyst with 23 points in the victory over Mount St. Mary's. That started the stretch of 2 consecutive. Looking for a big finish here to make it 3 in a row for Manhattan. Sacred Heart looking to hang in there. It's a 1-point lead, 1 point leading by 13 deep into the second half. 64-63 as they go for their 3rd consecutive win.
Yeah, because Bender kept them in the early part of the second half. And now Dinkins has been able to lead the charge. They've been able to do this without their 2 best players having that kind of offensive impact in the game when it comes to Manhattan.
Under 4.5 to go. Ralph Byer for 3. Front iron. Anquan Hill rips down the rebound and draws a foul. No, they're going to call a jump ball.
Yeah, I thought that was a good call. I thought Gilliard got all orange with his right hand on top of the basketball when Anquan Hill did such a great job with this pursuit of the basketball to go get that offensive rebound. Good look by Byer, and look at that. Just get the basketball right there, and that's good hands. That's all led by Bender, down below to force that jump ball. Possession arrow still in favor of Sacred Heart.
4:20 left in the second. 64-63, Sacred Heart. Both teams in the middle of the pack here in the MAC, trying to be one of the top 10 out of the 13 to qualify for the MAC tournament for a trip to Atlantic City in March. And Connor doing his part to his left for the lay-in. Back to a 3-point Pioneer lead.
It's all about playing through contact and physicality because they did everything right, taking the right hand away. And how about that, just to put up on the glass with the left hand and hope for the best, and the best worked out for him.
The drive and the bucket. Wesley Robinson off the window. Under 4 to go.
Everything's on the mobile. When they get guys, they're going downhill. They're catching the ball under catch and going right hard to the basket. It's a really good adjustment being made offensively by John Gallagher.
66-65, the Pioneers behind the back. Look from Connor to Hill for another 3. 12 3-pointers today for the Pioneers. 24 points from Anquan Hill.
Anytime he's picked and popped, he's been wide open because the defense has been so good trying to take Connor away when he takes the ball into the teeth of the defense and getting inside.
69-65, Sacred Heart to his left. Dinkins draws a foul on Baruch, who grabs at his face wearing the mask with the nose injury from a few weeks ago, and it looked like he caught that foul on the drive by Dinkins on his face.
Well, you never play defense with your face when you get a broken nose if you're Baruch, but this was so good by Anquan Hill on the relocation, the pick and pop for the 3.
His 4th 3-pointer today. 3:19 left. Tight ball game in the MAC. Weird day for Anquan Hill. He's leading the way with 24 points, 1 rebound shy of a double-double. You know, this is a transfer from St. Bonaventure who started at FDU, the NEC Rookie of the Year. He had a red shirt last year, but we kept hearing, boy, when Anquan Hill's on the floor for Sacred Heart, it's going to be exciting times for games just like this one.
Because these are the kind of games you want your guys to step up and make those kind of plays. And like you mentioned, Randy, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 28 minutes of action, and not 1 turnover. Because Anthony Latina, the coach of Sacred Heart, said he's been shooting the ball extremely well, and you're starting to see that flow get better and better for him. These are the kind of games where if you have success down the stretch, you can look back and say that's when the game that Anquan Hill really led the way and showed out for us, and it was that kind of factor down the stretch.
On the other side, Devin Dinkins leading the way, and he goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line. His one making it a 1-possession game. 69-66 the lead for Sacred Heart.
And if I'm involving Sacred Heart, I'm involving 7-3 somehow, some way to try to get the ball into their hands.
Makai Connor with 14 assists today. He feeds Hill against the 5'10 Dinkins. 8 on the shot clock, under 3 to go. The reverse by Connor, no good. Manhattan gets the stop. Gilliard with a rebound. His 13th board, and a chance for Bender. He pulls up. He doesn't take the 3. Dinkins doesn't either. He jab steps his way in, and he is rejected by Tanner Thomas.
The defense was terrific because the ball popped all around the place. They kept shot faking, moving the ball around, shot faking, moving the ball around, but give Sacred Heart a lot of credit. Their defense was elastic beam everywhere like a rubber band, taking opportunities away.
Winston inbound. Manhattan down 3. Coming up on 2.5 left. Griffin Baruch knocks it out of Dinkins' hands.
Yeah, this is so good by Tanner Thomas. You stay tall, you wait. You don't allow a defender, you don't allow yourself as a defender to play small. You stay tall and get that block shot. He was perfect doing that.
He's got 3 blocks today. Told you, in a game like this, it's who can make 1 or more defensive plays. Thomas couldn't that time. Jaden Winston steps back and ties the game for 3. 69-69. Connor looking to put the Pioneers ahead. It's short. Thomas battles for the rebound. They hit the deck. Robinson emerges with it without a tie-up. Dinkins with the ball. Ahead to Bender. A chance to put Manhattan on top. Sidnor, no good for 3. The long rebound out to Bender, but there's a foul near the free throw line.
Robinson did such a good job winning that battle against a tired Tanner Thomas when they had the right kind of shots in transition. But how about this? You're able to use that step back. You're Jaden Winston, a taller defender on you. You bring him out to you a little bit and know you have confidence to rain that jumper down. And now Manhattan has a chance to do something we haven't seen in a long, long time, have a lead in this ball game with 2:02 to play.
18 fouls on Sacred Heart, 5 on Manhattan. Robinson on the line for the Jaspers with a chance to give them the lead.
And Wesley Robinson, he's made a couple of tough plays for this team, shooting a 3-point shot from the baseline that was able to give them a little bit more confidence. Then his defense at the other end, Tanner Thomas, not allowing Tanner Thomas to body him down, and then the double team comes over and helps him out a little bit. He's been really solid at both ends of the floor when it comes to Wesley Robinson.
Swish Gilliard checks in for Winston as Wesley Robinson, an 81% free throw shooter, misses the front end of the 1-and-1. And the game remains tied at 69 with under 2 minutes to play.
If I'm Anthony Latina, I'm getting Anquan Hill involved in the screen and roll with Makai Connor. That's worked so far really effectively against Manhattan.
They try the screen and roll. Instead to the corner. Thomas, corner 3, no good. Bender up for the rebound.
It was a good look. You had everything you want. Connor did the right thing. You kick it out, the defense takes you away, and you had a wide open corner jumper. You can live with that look in that offensive set if you're Anthony Latina and Sacred Heart.
A big minute and a half here. 2 teams with 5 conference losses. A head-to-head opportunity to move in front of each other in the push up the standings. The Jaspers looking for the lead. Sidnor misses, and the ball is staying with Manhattan.
Yeah, they competed for it, but I thought Anquan Hill, and they'll take a look at this, I thought Anquan Hill, in his pursuit of the basketball and battling Sidnor, I thought he was the last piece of hand that touched that ball because his defense is really good here. Sidnor tried to put him in a blender, nothing there, maybe got a little touch of the basketball. I think Anquan Hill was the one that trying to get it away from the